Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori and I am the creator behind Entre Tejidos Crochet. Today's video is going to be almost like a year in review, pattern review sort of video because I'm going to start filming little bits and pieces of what I have for Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, because in my family, we have a lot of birthdays in December and in January. So I've been prepping all of that. Now, if you saw my video that I posted 2 weeks ago, I'll link it up here. You know that I went shopping, Christmas shopping in my plushie stash. And I pulled out a bunch of gifts that were already made, that they are well made. Even though they are pattern tests, I do try and pick out good colors and just to make the pattern designer shine. So I already did that. Between when I did that and today, I have been working up on other presents as well as other pattern tests. Some of the pattern tests have made it into the presents pile. Hopefully this video will show you, things that I've gifted. Also, we are big on recycling this year, and basically since like the second half of November, any sort of package that arrived at our house, I'd be like, no, don't toss the box. Don't toss it, because I'm going to be recycling all of those Amazon boxes. And the way that I think I'm gonna do it is, instead of like regularly, covering it with gift wrap, I am going to paint them. So instead of using a Sharpie to cover everything up, I am going to remove like any sort of shipping label, any sort of tape, and then I'm going to color them. So I have 4 colors here and 3 more, so a total of 7 colors. I am going to mainly focus on the boxes that are for my nieces or nephews or my sons. So I am going to work on those boxes first, mainly because most, if not all, of the presents for the kids in our family are done. They just need to be packaged up and set aside. I also want to do this now, even though it's still, I think, about 10 days before Christmas. If I do them, actually no, it's 8 days before Christmas. But I want to start doing it now because I know you can't see it, but there's a pile here, and whenever I have a lot of clutter, it starts to get a bit overwhelming because it's like wherever I look, there's a mess. And since I've been pattern testing and pattern designing, my desk is pretty much the same way. I'm supposed to have like a basket for my polyfill, but it's full of polyfill, and then there's a basket for when I was making the flowers with all the yarn in it. It's a bit chaotic. So hopefully, as I'm packaging everything up, properly labeling it, things will start to declutter. So without further ado, let me show you the first couple of gifts that I made throughout the year. So these I made back, I think it was in March, and I made essentially all of them. The pattern pack, because it's a pattern bundle, is by Minnie's Crochet Corner, if I'm not mistaken. Note, I may misremember, I may not say it properly, but over here I'll write it out exactly as it is, and in the description box they'll be linked. The pattern will be linked down below. Though I may say it wrong, everyone will be tagged accordingly. So the first one, they're going to be gifted together. These are called the Plant Pals. Minnie's Crochet Corner is the one who designed it. And even though I was tasked with making the pothos, if I'm not mistaken, I made all 4. I've already gifted the other ones because they're just too cute. And I used a mixture of Premier Basics Chenille and Hobie's Honey Bunny, if I'm not mistaken. The green is Honey Bunny. This particular present, I think it's going to be, I'm not sure if it's going to be a Christmas present or a birthday present. And here we go, you know, recycled Amazon box. This next one is Nicole's Cuddly Creatures or Cuddly Creations. It was a pattern test for her Pebbles the Zebra, and I used Parfait Chunky to make her. And I have someone in my family who loves yellow and purple, so recycling the box where I get my resin inside I have this very cute dino, and the pattern is by Chanel's Crochet. This was a pattern test for her. A little boy, so happy because he's just into dinosaurs. I mean, a lot of boys are into dinosaurs. Like my family, my 2 boys, we're big on dinosaurs. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to be very, very happy with his dinosaur. He was made with Parfait Chunky, and they are my safety eyes. These are Ice Blast, if I'm not mistaken. So far, so good. We have 3 gifts knocked off the list, and we've been recycling packages and boxes. This next one is also in a recycled Amazon box, and it was a pattern test for the lovely Cozy Crochet by Tasha. And she's entirely made of Parfait Chunky with Chenille Bloom as well. And I know that the person who's going to receive this is going to love her because I recently heard that she's into bunnies. I thought she was more into kittens and cats, but recently, keeping up with the bunny themed. So this pattern is called Buster Bunny. I need to fix the floppy ears. The pattern is called Buster Bunny, and it's by 3J's Handcrafts, and I tested her pattern, I think that it was earlier this year, and I know that one family member is going to be super happy to get him. Don't worry, all of the plushies will go through a sort of quality check, because sometimes when we store them, sometimes, you know, they lose, like in this case, the floppiness. But I will check them all. I will try and take all the stuffies off. Another dinosaur that's going to be gifted away is this, I'm gonna say like pineapple inspired laying dinosaur, and the pattern is by Kiss Fist Crochet, and I used felt eyes. I think she turned out pretty cute. And she is entirely made out of Premier yarns. This is the snow cone yarn, Basics Chenille, and Parfait Chunky over here. Yeah, she's very much a pineapple inspired dinosaur. We have recycled quite a bit of boxes. So this next box actually is going to end up having some multiple presents in it because it's a big box and most of the gifts are like flat-ish, like they can lay down flat. The first one that I'm going to gift is this Granny Square turtle, and I made her for the Get It Made challenge I made back in like September. And she's just too cute. She's going to be gifted away. This shawl that I made as a pattern test for Everly Fibers, and it was made with Premier Yarns Mementi, I think it is, and it's in the Enchanted Forest colorway. This box will later get 2 beanies and a headband. The water snail pattern, entirely made of Parfait Chunky, and the pattern is by Woolly Tunes. And I have someone in my family who is a major SpongeBob fan. It'll be a hit. I just know that it'll be a hit. This next up, and I'm going to like mention it. Well, I mean, honestly, once you gift someone their gift, they can do whatever they want. But the way that I thought of these when I made them was for like, you know, some home decor. And these two mushrooms are a pattern bundle by Hooked with Love. She recently went through a revamp of her pattern, and she asked a few of us being my testers, because we have a group of testers. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that like out of the blue, I have a group of testers that are open to testing any one of my patterns. It's surreal and humbling. The fact that as I'm starting now to film, I'm at 5.3K followers on Instagram, 1.4 followers here on YouTube. I know that it's something that, oh yeah, I wanted to get, and I still want to get it. I mean, I'm already there, right? But oh my gosh, I'm rambling. But it's weird, but at the same time, it's a good weird. I hope I'm making sense. Also, the fact that I got 1,000 sales on Etsy like earlier towards the end of November. It's a truly humbling experience, and I can't thank you all so much. So back to the topic, that in the tester group, Lauren from Hooked with Love shared her pattern, and I tested it for her, and I specifically made it with bernat blanket yarn, to use up that tiny little roll that I had left in my stash, and B, because I wanted them to be kind of small but big, you know, small compared to my other plushies, but kind of big that, you know, they can be placed on some shelves or something to decorate around the house. Also going to gift my strawberry shortcake doll. The pattern is by Kawaii Cuddlebug, and I just love how cute she is. She's very chunky. She is entirely made of basics chenille, and I know someone who's more into like nostalgic pieces. I know she's gonna love her. I'm going to gift my Toby the Sophisticated Monster to someone in my family who's like into monsters and into reading, and Toby is all about that. He has made entirely in basics, no, actually in bernat blanket. He's made with bernat blanket, and the pattern is by Whimsy Shades of Crochet. I'm also going to gift my Squirtle, and the pattern is by Tasha's Crochet Corner. He is entirely made of basics chenille, and I have a gaming family member, not gaming, a Pokemon fan in the family who's going to get him. And I have another gaming family member who's going to get the green Kirby that I made as part of the Get It Made challenge. We're almost to the end of the things that are already made and set aside to be gifted. Here we have these two super cute chunky frogs. The pattern is by Woolly Tunes, and I have a little boy who's into like these slimy, slippery sort of animals, kind of like a froggy mama and a froggy baby sort of thing. So far, that's all I have. I need to start coloring. Well, not, why do I keep saying coloring? I need to start painting the boxes, sealing things up, placing them under the Christmas tree, and yeah. But I'll check back in a couple of days once I've done some of the other gifts, and I'll show you. Bye. Okay, so updating you on things that I've made to gift away. I have to admit, I may or may not have had a sentro since like 2-3 years ago, and it's the first time I cracked it out and started working on some things. I'll link the tutorials of these patterns on in the description box, of course. But I made some beanies. They're like, bear in mind, it's the first time I've ever used the Sentro machine, so I do need to like you know, work out some kinks and whatnot. So here it's not that like pretty, but hey, the other side is like really pretty. So I also made some headbands and another beanie. This one is just one color, and this one is double-sided as well. Oh, and another headband. And I kind of need to stop, because if it were for me, I would literally just stand over my kitchen island cranking out things with my machine. And like practicing with it, making sure that everything flows together. But considering that, which one was it? This one was my first ever project on a sentro. Like, I literally cast it on following a YouTube video, and I worked it up, and considering it was my first try, awesome. Then came this one. This one came out slightly smaller, but I'm going to probably gift it to one of my nieces, and I'm sure it'll fit well. Now, when it came to making the beanies, this has nothing to do with the tutorials that I followed. It's more with like user error, with trying to adjust and, you know, make sure that everything flows together in the machine. Because I did notice that this yarn is slightly thinner than the one I used. They're both worsted weight, but this one is slightly, this is Premier Yarns worsted, basics worsted, and this is Lion Brand's Ice Cream Shop. It's worsted weight as well, but it's slightly thinner, and I think that's why I have a few like weird stitches. And then I also need to find a way to, like, if I have dropped stitches, how I can like slightly fix it a bit so that I don't end up having to like frog the entire project. But all in all, I'm happy with them. The other two gifts that I finished, and it ended up being like a sort of revamp for the pattern, is I made two Amy axolotls. This is my pattern, and I actually made it like it's the same style, it's the same look from the current Amy axolotl pattern. I just made it easier to make and achieve the look. And since the person I'm gifting it to loves blue, I used different tones of blue. I also used scrap yarn from my stash. But wait, I think with this, I think I'll win like Mom of the Year. So here we have the tail. Look, this is, I used a mixture of the blanket yarn from Walmart, Bernat blanket, and snow cone. But look at this. It's, I can't stop staring at it. I wasn't sure if the eye size was going to work. These, I've had these I believe they're 40mm eyes in my stash for about 2.5, 3 years. And I finally got to use them, and I kind of want to order more. So yeah. At the time that this video is up, the updated version of Amy Axolotl should be on my Etsy. You can currently still get it, even if it's not yet updated. But I just made it easier to make the frills and the extra with it. So that's my update up until now. I am working on another one. This doesn't look like much, but it's a musical note. It's a treble clef. And this is like the little ball. This is the, I believe it goes over here and then it twists down. You need the pattern. If you have a music lover in your family, you need the pattern, because it's so well written. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I'll check back in for the last time in a few days once I'm done with, this is one. I still have 4 presents to make. 2 of those are for my husband. Hey, but not all is lost. I did get him some other things, so if I'm not done by Christmas, he'll understand. Still, I really want to like finish it because I'm making Naruto and Kurama, which is the 9-tailed fox, and so yeah. So anyways, that's my update for now. I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Good morning. Today's the final check-in. Ooh la la, I feel like sophisticated. We're about to rush out the door to meet up with the family to celebrate Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you and yours. Happy holidays. And if you're watching this in the new year, Happy New Year. I have 3 final presents that I need to show you. One, I will just have to like include a picture of it because I'm still working on it. It's a lot of pieces. So let's get started. So one of the gifts is this caterpillar. The pattern is by All From Jade. It's Chantal, the caterpillar, and I try to make it in like the red and green color of a very hungry caterpillar, but I didn't have enough. I didn't have red, so orange, light green, and green it was. And look at this. This pattern is phenomenal. These are actually 25mm lake waters, and they pair perfectly with the rest of the color scheme. And the yarn that I used is Naughty Ball from Kayla's Crafts, if I'm not mistaken. The other gift, and if you don't have this pattern, you need this pattern. It's a treble cleft, and it's a pillow. Except that I know that I'm just going to, this is for my dad. I'm just gonna tell him to like tack something on the wall and hang it up. My dad is a major music person. Like since he was young, he's always been playing the piano. He plays the piano at our church. So this was like the perfect thing to make him. The other gift, and this is for my husband, I made Naruto, and I used Pocketful of Posies Rosalina ballerina pattern. So I played around with the color changes and I did the hair cap exactly as it's in the pattern. I just blinged it up. Now, I used, these are my Ice Blast eyes, and I just can't stop looking at him. Like when I was finishing him up, I just had the hair cap, I was adding all the hair, and then I told my husband like, well, just so you know, this is a lot of hair. And I know it kind of looks like almost curly hair, but we still know this is Naruto. So the other part of the present is I'm making the 9-tailed fox. It's just that it's a lot of pieces because 9 tails. You have to make 9 tails. And I'm using that nerdy crocheter or that nerdy hooker's pattern. But if by the time I'm editing this, I have it all done, I'll include a picture over here. If not, I'll make a short and show you all. So that was my very crafty Christmas. I can say that everyone in my family received a handmade item, whether I made it in the crunch time in December right now or whether I made it like back throughout the year, but I did. Now, next video, it's going to be probably a Get It Made challenge. I haven't made one since I believe September, and I have gotten quite a bit of patterns since then. And we need to make those patterns. We need to make patterns. So that's probably going to be our next video, which would probably also be our first video in 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today and for joining me over all the other videos. I hope to see you in the new year, and have a great day. Bye.